Good afternoon, everybody. It is Wednesday. Happy Hump Day, April 16th. It's Tilray Interview Eve. We're going to do a little bit different here today. Normally, I do these on Tuesdays and Wednesdays about 30 minutes before the market closes. But again, I'm going to be interviewing Tilray Irwin Simon tomorrow and still doing some preparation for that. But the timing is going to overlap with the live stream tomorrow. So I bumped it up to today instead. And I've got a lot of questions. I think I counted about 36 questions. I'm probably not going to be able to answer or to get that many answered. So I did send them the list of questions and I just told them, probably not going to ask all these questions. We'll come back. They'll probably review them and come back. They might even let me know that they want to exclude a couple or they can't speak to it or something like that. So I was like, okay, well, I can always remove questions and then I don't need their permission to do that. But it's adding, that's the issue. And I did send them for those of you that are Power Group Private Community members. If you're not, if you're viewing this tomorrow after the fact, so what I do is I upload these, I do live streams to the Power Group Private Community, and then I upload them to YouTube for the Power Group or for YouTube members. So if you're not a Power Group member watching it live, you can get the live streams after the fact, usually about a day later. And if you want to go to powgroup.ca or pursuitofwealthgroup.com, this is the Power Group private community here, and you'll have access to that. It's just a different membership. And yeah, I forgot about this. We'll mention this real quick. 25% off Happy Pour 20. Pretty clever branding there. 25% off Happy Flower. So drinkhappyflower.com. Tilray's hemp beverages, you can get 25% off there. But if you scroll up, I did post all of the questions here. There's been a lot of chatter. Where was it? Let me scroll up. Yeah, updated list of questions here. So those were the full lists. I did remove a couple. Like I don't think I'm going to be able to ask some of those, but if you want to review those and let me know your thoughts and opinions, maybe let me know if there's some that I should exclude. If you really want to see some answered, let me know and maybe just give me a list of the lower priority ones. But let me know if there's any that you think we can just leave out, right? Because obviously I'm not going to be able to ask like 30 or 40 questions. Probably only going to get to like 20 or 25 at the most, I would think. So we really got to pick and choose which questions to go with. And yeah, I'll probably just put some at the end if I have time. I'll get to those, and a lot of it will just be riding on Irwin's time, right? If he has a time constraint, and I'll discuss it with him before we start. But yeah, and I might even just tell him too, like some questions, like it's okay if you only take 10 seconds to answer it, right? Like we'll want to try to like rapid fire questions, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Used to be $1 billion company and isn't too far off and could easily be $1 billion company again. So pretty surreal feeling interviewing the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company. All right, we'll jump right into the market update. If anybody does have any ticker requests, as always, please let me know inside of the community. I did mention that daily consolidation was the most likely scenario today on SPY. Bitcoin started daily consolidation yesterday. That was a clue. And then last night, SPY futures, I mentioned this in the newsletter yesterday as well. SPY futures last night started daily consolidation after breaking the daily inside bar bearish. And we were expecting a daily lower high. We had resistance there at 55.28, and then we hit 54.97, started daily consolidation. That increased the odds that we were going to see it today on SPY. And then sure enough, SPY, same thing, daily inside bar, and then daily consolidation. I mentioned this in the newsletter as well. Watch for 519 to act as support. It was actually 519.9 something. So got that in the way. The candle's in the way. Let me see if I can zoom in. 519.91, and we hit 520.29. So as of right now, we're still holding that 0.32 fib level, so it's not the end of the world. But we'll see if we can confirm a daily uptrend here with the low, high, higher low. We need the higher high, and then we could be looking at a bull flag as well. And then we just take our measured move there, moved out to our 0.32 fib, and you're looking at about a move up to around 588. So we'll see if we can get back into the recent highs. But yeah, we have to hold 519, lose that, then we're more than likely expecting a drop down to around 512, 504. And then we'll expect instead of a bullish continuation pattern and bull flag, we'll expect a type of equilibrium where, we tighten up. But Bitcoin was the clue. So if we bring up BTC USD, Bitcoin also started daily consolidation. And that's kind of a clue you get because the Bitcoin and the crypto market opens earlier than the stock market, right? So it opens around the same time futures. And then, like I said, ES1, if we bring that up, it started daily consolidation as well. So the trend today has been daily consolidation, and MJ stocks uh, caught fire. Um, Let me just see here. Yeah, CGC is gaining a little bit more momentum here. Was up like 24% or something like that, 25% at the peak today, but up over 16%. I think Bull's just defending that $1. Didn't see any news, but again, more confidence that once big tech, crypto, and AI tops out, we should see a nice rotational play for MJ. Because we are seeing a little bit of an inverse correlation there. XRP, so there was news out today. Ripple and the SEC have agreed, or well, the judge had ruled to grant like an extra 60 days, essentially that the two parties have agreed to basically chill out and get their settlement in order. So they got 6 months. Today was, or sorry, 2 months, 60 days. Today was the day for Ripple to file the appellate brief and with the appeal, and they didn't file it. So it's pretty much all about over at this point. And looks like I removed some of the stuff on the XRP chart. I think it was because I was doing the fractal and I was trying to make it as clear as possible, but we'll just draw this here again. So it is a daily bull flag. We're holding the 0.32 fib, so we want to see 203 hold. Lose that, we're no longer expecting the daily bull flag, but it is an inverse head and shoulders here. And if we just draw that out, it'd look like this. So realistically, we could pull back to around $1.96 and be just fine and be expecting this daily inverse head and shoulders. So we could see, I don't think it's going to take the 2 months before we see a resolution in the Ripple case, but we do have crypto legislation coming in the next few months as well. They said they want to get it done before August recess. So yeah, this is looking like we could be back up to around the $3 mark pretty quickly. 313 potential here for inverse head and shoulders. All right, in terms of crypto on the day today, we had EOS, Solana, and Storage leading the bull list, and on the bear list, Flare, Songbird, and XRP, the ETF, but still just hovering around 30 bucks. Yesterday we did hit a high of 32.77 daily consolidation, just like Bitcoin and SPY today, but still up off of the lows from the recent and all-time low to the low of the day today, still up over 27%. Tesla daily consolidation, same thing, daily inside bar and a daily consolidation. GME has been strong, but started daily consolidation again today, potential daily bull flag. SPCE kind of chilled out as well, sitting around 250, daily consolidation last 2 days in a row after breaking the daily inside bar bearish. What else we got? That's pretty much it. Take a look at MJ here real quick. Oops, and we'll see if there's any requests. Just an overview of the main MJ stock, says Jam. Yeah, no problem at all. We can do that right now. Looks like that's the only request for the moment. So yeah, we'll jump right in. So yeah, CGC, VFF, and Verano leading the green today. And in terms of red, we have NEBI, AVCN, and HMMJ. IWM is the ETF, but we've been watching that as a bit of a correlation as well. And risk on in the market. It's been absolutely destroyed the last few months. Oxley back up at 8 cents. So yeah, it's not all doom and gloom for the MJ sector. Oxley went from a penny all the way up to 10.5 cents. So we had a cool 940%. While most names are looking like this. So definitely one of the shining stars in the space at the moment. That's why it pays to be diversified as well. We're actually getting close to monthly overbought, which is pretty insane to think about. Look at CGC; it's the complete opposite. We're at all-time lows and monthly oversold. But a bit of a clue here on Oxley that the rest of the sector could start to follow, and we have no monthly resistance on CGC until 572. And yeah, if you know nothing about charts and you just put RSI into your charts and you're only selling or being patient and not adding here when we're overbought, you're doing well. And if you're adding, somewhere around here, somewhere around this area, you usually end up solid, right? And even just to get back to EMA 12 would bring us up to around 403. So there's likely a big move coming, and it's more than likely going to be some sort of movement with regards to the new administration, safe banking, like a vote on safe banking getting passed, actual uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ for these US companies, rescheduling. I'd say it's going to be one of those three, if not a mix of those three, depending on how many catalysts we get of those strung together, then the better. Might be an attempt to deschedule, but I can't see that happening anytime soon. What else? Yeah. Sorry, my accountant just sent me a message there, and I got sidetracked. But yeah, hopefully get my taxes done here tonight and tomorrow. They're due April 30th, so got to pay the tax. All right. So yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, we have a lack of monthly resistance, and if we get those catalysts, yeah, that's what I was going to say. So it's not just progress, right? We need something to actually happen. We need a vote, we need it to pass, and we need it to be enacted. Not just progress, not just hopes and dreams and pipe dreams, and we need actual movement and concrete enactment. So yeah, we had some pretty decent pops today. Canadian LPs leading the way. In my opinion, I think it's just technical. I didn't see any news. There was a report that about 64% of Canadians, data shows, new poll shows that 64% of Canadians think that the MJ industry is a critical pillar of the economy going forward, and 64% think that it's time for us for the government to really start supporting the industry. And I mentioned this in the Power Group private community as well. And I'll ask a question to Erwin about this. With the elections less than 2 weeks away, it's on the 28th, so Monday the 28th. One of the main talking points we're seeing is taxation. So look at this, the first 3 points. Pierre Poilievre, zero capital gains tax when you reinvest in Canada. That'll be sick. No sales tax on new homes and incentivization of municipalities to cut building taxes and cut income tax by 15%. So I'd welcome all of those. I'm not going to, but I'm pretty sure Carney also mentioned this as well, zero capital gains tax when you reinvest in Canada. But yeah, not telling you who to vote for or anything like that, not picking any sides. But these first three, very telling that seems like they're very anti-tax and tax reform. They didn't mention excise tax, but it's good nonetheless that they're even like kind of reading the writing on the wall, reading between the lines here. It seems like they really want to bring down taxes. So, and that's what's going on in the U.S. right now too, right? They're talking about abolishing the IRS and the Fed. And with the tariff revenue, they're talking about buying Bitcoin with some of that revenue and then also eliminating income tax for the middle class. Just imagine that the amount of money that would pour in to the sector, to the market. But yeah, Tilray starting the daily bounce today. So while most names are doing daily consolidation, MJ's bouncing on the daily, breaking the high of the previous daily candle. But we're selling off here now with the market weakness. But overall, ACB bouncing on the daily time frame. CGC, big bounce here the last several days, actually the last 4 days in a row. So we did drop down to 77 cents. And from there, we're now up after the daily oversold bounce began. We're up 65%. High tide's been pretty quiet lately, but we've had a decent move here on the daily time frame. We'd hit $1.64 and it's up 44% on the high of the day today. So MSOS mentioned this. It is a daily bear flag, but we're trying to negate it here now. And it's looking like that could be the case, but key support going to be 202. Lose that, we're looking down to around 167. But yeah, if we can close, yeah, we're set to close less than a minute. Just close. So yeah, it's looking good that we're going to negate this. I mentioned 231 was the level to break, and we hit the high of the day today, 233. but would like to see that follow through. But closed at the high of the day today, so looking decent. BFF, so today was the day that they had to regain compliance. I didn't see anything, any news. Yeah, they didn't say anything, so very possible that they get an extension. They got one in 2023 though, so I'm not sure how that works. Would they get multiple extensions? More than likely, I would think, right? Who cares? It's the Wall Street crooks that are making the rules after all, right? And government, corrupt government. So wouldn't put it past me. Oh, you need an extension? No problem. You want another 6 months? You get 6 months. You get 6 months. Everybody gets 6 months. All right, gonna end it there. I think that's all for the moment. Imbalance has just dropped. Nvidia 788 million buy. All tech big, uh, all big tech buy side. Market bouncing up. Yeah, it's looking pretty decent. Just a daily, looking for a daily higher low here. Need to change the hourly trend ASAP. Decent volume there into the end of the day. Inverse head and shoulders here on the 5-minute time frame for SPY. So into tomorrow could see move up to around 533s. Got one more late one here for Chris. SSL on the TSX. That'll be the last one. So a bit of a descending triangle here in the, well, I guess it's more of a falling wedge here, but pretty low volume. So if we were to break out here, you could see move up to around 1180s. That's on the 5-minute time frame. We'll zoom out here. Weekly uptrend confirmed. So we have our low, high, higher low, and higher high. Perfect hold of EMA12 there as well. So looking good on the weekly. Monthly time frame. Yeah, we're pretty extended. We have no support all the way down to 747. So I'd be cautious here. We are approaching major resistance at 1422. And we're monthly overbought. So I would be cautious on entries. I'd look for a monthly higher low to form before entering. Maybe even a back test around $10 if you're looking for entries. 10 psychological might not be a bad idea. Start scaling in there. Another one at 8, another one at 6, that kind of thing. But I'd be very cautious. Again, if you know nothing about investing or technical analysis, what did I say earlier in the show? Generally a bad idea for buys up here. That's not when you want to be buying when it was down here, right? And we were just there. So if you missed that, you just call it as it is. Say I missed it, and wait for the next one by the time we get down here, right? Somewhere around that median line, though, would be a decent area. If you're really patient, you'll wait for weekly oversold. If you're not as patient and you're looking to gain, if you're really looking for a position, maybe wait for daily oversold, start scaling in, and then be dollar cost averaging from there. SSL, we'll take a quick look here. SSL.to. Yeah, we're stochastic just had a bear cross, so I'd be cautious with monthly overbought. Could start to go the other way soon, but we just had the 50 and the 200 weekly moving average cross bullish, and we held it on that weekly higher low and weekly uptrend confirmed. So that was a nice go signal there. But now we might start to come back down to around that $9, $8 and back test the 50 weekly. Again, when you get extended to the upside of these moving average, what usually tends to happen, you get extended, irrational exuberance, you come down, you back test it, confirm it as resistance, old support into new resistance, bam, rejected. Same thing here, get extended to the upside, come back, resistance, 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 failed breakout, resistance, resistance, final flush, Wyckoff, accumulation, springboard, gone. Weekly 50 and 200 weekly moving average bull cross, again, getting extended here and a little irrational, so we'll probably come back down to reality. SSL.to, again, 50-day moving average is well held and blasting off into space here. So it could be a bit of a head and shoulders forming on the daily as well. But wouldn't be surprised to see us at $10 to $9 here in the next couple of weeks. All right, going to end it there. Hope everyone has a great night, and we'll talk to you in the chat room in a little bit.